This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The fate of the Lloydminster Economic Development Corporation will have to wait, despite the fact the service accounts for less than 2% of the city's $79 million budget. The LEDC has been at the forefront of council discussions. Adam McVicker reports.
And if we're not growing, we're dying.
A reoccurring topic of debate during Monday's City Council meeting was centered around the dissolution of the Lloydminster Economic Development Corporation. A decision on its fate will have to wait, as the budget only passed on an interim basis.
Wish we'd had a complete resolution anew, because as you can imagine, just having uncertainty is always less preferable than knowing outcomes.
As part of its cost reduction strategy, City Administration proposed restructuring the Economic Development Corporation by bringing services in-house and reducing staff, with savings estimated to be around $500,000.
It just wouldn't be, quite to the same breadth or depth or functionality that, mandates would certainly have to probably narrow.
But further discussion revealed savings would only be around $420,000, since dissolution wouldn't be an overnight process. On the other hand, keeping the service status quo would result in an additional 2.39% increase to the mill rate.
We need to be able to balance a budget. We have to be able to provide the services that the taxpayers want, and Lloyd Economic Development is one of those wants and needs.
Despite the possible dismantling, the LEDC came forward with a funding request in November, cutting 13% from their costs.
Certainly it's difficult. I mean, that's based upon eliminating a full-time position and creating a half-time. So, I mean, it's impacting our staffing right off the bat.
And now City Council has until January to make a decision, possibly on different structure options, after requesting more information from administration.
But all I know is we need an economic development corporation, and we have to review it rather than just dismantle it.
Council and of course administration and ourselves are going to look at alternatives, both that proposed by administration, those proposed by us, and as well some others. So we're going to work together to help figure those out.
City Council will meet again on January 16th. Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
And in light of the recent recommendations to legalize marijuana, we thought we'd see how the people of Lloydminster felt about it.
So I think it's an amazing thing to be able to access and use from the nature. So the more we can get awareness out there, the more that people will hopefully be open to it. And especially going forward into 2017, there's going to be a lot more, I think, open minds around things to keep ourselves healthy.
I'm not in favor of it. I feel that if you look at some of the long-term effects, that it would really be a negative thing for our country.
Well, I don't really know much about it, and I'm not sure how it's going to work with all the workers, if, with drug testing and stuff, if that's going to change anything. Or
people have been drinking for hundreds of years, so honestly, I don't know. I think it's worse. If you take 5 guys and put them in a table, give them all the booze they can drink, and you come back 5 hours later, the house is going to be wrecked for the alcohol. You put 5 guys in the same house and put a bag of weed in front, all you're going to have is a couple chip bags and a movie wrapper. So I don't know what the worst of the two is.
Well, a family in Paynton has lost everything after a fire leveled their house on the weekend. Now, a Lloydminster resident is turning to social media to help the family rebuild. The day after the family's home burned down, Amanda Tomayer, a stranger to the family, started auctioning off her own unused gifts on the What's Happening in Lloydminster Facebook page.
Terrible that a child will basically probably not get very much for Christmas, and so I thought, well, what can I do to bring a little bit of cheer to the family and to lessen the stress after the fire.
With more Lloydminster residents pitching in, the auction has quickly grown to include over a dozen items, from baked goods to a 1-hour photo shoot. Tomayer says the affected family appreciates the support.
Can't believe what I've done to help out a complete stranger. I'm like, that's what a community is all about. So I'm glad to be able to give back a little to the family.
The auction continues until Friday at 4 p.m. Donations are also being accepted at the Paynton Fire Department. While the weather isn't as mild this winter in Lloydminster, one of several reasons why people are taking vacations this year. Sales for tropical destinations at travel agencies has increased over the past 3 months compared to the same time period in 2015, particularly with families. Jerry Duhame of Carlson Vaughanley Travel says an increase in parents taking their kids on a vacation is one of the commonly given reasons, along with avoiding the cold.
The children are getting older now, and so they want to take them with them. It's also maybe they've been on a vacation themselves last year and it's time to take the family. So it sort of goes in cycles.
Despite that increase, the past 2 years of economic downturn have changed the prices many people are willing to pay.
What it has done is it's caused more people to be more interested in the all-inclusive type of vacation, where they know the price, what the price is going to be before they leave. Some destinations are not all-inclusive, such as Hawaii, where it's all a la carte.
And more people are booking off time for vacations in February, taking advantage of school breaks. Well, there was no shortage of Christmas spirit at Jack Kemp Community School yesterday. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we see how an annual Kiwanis Club event put a huge smile on the students' faces. It's a tradition that goes back 33 years. Dubbed Santa's Project, the Kiwanis Club of Lloydminster visits pre-K to grade 2 students at local schools throughout the week, bringing along a special guest who comes bearing gifts, 1,900 of them to be exact.
It's a wonderful tradition. The kids obviously love it. Kiwanis members very much enjoy it, and Santa really enjoys it too.
One by one, these grade 1 students at Jack Kemp get to meet the man in the red suit, the feelings of pure delight written all over their faces.
They were so hyped and so excited, so it just brings such joy to our lives and to our hearts to see the joy that we brought to them. I actually get like 1,900 hugs this week, so yep, I love it.
I told them that I wanted a toy robot. He gave me a bag of candy and a Play-Doh.
For a lot of our little guys, you know, this time of year, some of them are struggling, our families, and so this just is a wonderful opportunity to bring a smile to their face.
Being a part of both worlds here at Jack Kemp and the Kiwanis Club, Kettle says the tradition takes on another level of meaning.
You get very close to them. You know a bit about their family and their backgrounds, and so it brings a lot of meaning, I think, to myself, just knowing that, again, how much joy is being brought to them today, and just seeing the smiles on their face. I mean, it just warms my heart.
As for jolly old St. Nick,
I think this is the highlight of his year, is coming to these schools and getting to see the students up close in person. I think it's bringing just as much happiness to him as to the students.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, the Bobcats are 4 games into their month-long road trip with 2 wins and 2 losses. With just 4 road games left in 2016, the focus in practice this week is finding ways to win. Bailey Nitty has more.
The Cats won their first 2 away games, first game 3-1 over the Drumheller Dragons, and this past Friday, they played in Grand Prairie where they conquered the Storm 3-2. The Cats couldn't pull through on Saturday, though, with the Storm blanking the Bobcats 3-0. The guys suffered another loss on Sunday, where the White Coat Wolverines skated away with a 7-3 victory.
I expected more, but we just didn't have it. We're shorthanded. We had some injuries, and it's a tough road trip.
The guys are back to work preparing for another long weekend ahead. On Friday, they'll play the top team in the South, the Brooks Bandits, who they lost 7-0 to earlier this month. On Saturday, they're heading to the Rockies to face off against the Canmore Eagles, and Sunday, the Calgary Mustangs.
Yeah, you know what? We just got to regroup here, have a good week of practice, and play a hard game.
I think the boys are excited, and it's a great chance for us to maybe go in there and get an upset. You never know. You got to show up and play hockey, and if we show up and play the right way, we'll give them a good game, and you never know from there.
The Bobcats will finish off their road trip in Sherwood Park on the 21st, followed by a short Christmas break. The puck will drop again at the Civic Center on January 6th. Bailey Nitty, Newcap Sports.
Well, Lloydminster Minor Hockey had an exciting 2016. The addition of the Steelers franchise, coupled with the Midget AAA's magical run to the TELUS Cup, garnered a lot of excitement in the border city. Now the league has developed another exciting program.
Lloyd Minor Hockey just partnered with Sport Check on Player of the Week award. We're starting it next week. It's for grassroots minor hockey teams. So we've just working on the criteria to have players nominated and receive a weekly award from Sport Check.
Not only will the award be featured on a weekly basis, the organization has also planned a special year-end presentation.
We will do something at our AGM at the end of the year for the overall player within Lloyd Minor Hockey.
Emphasis is on high-scoring performances, putting the most popular or star players on a pedestal. It can give many players a feeling or expectation that these type of awards can't be won by the average participant. Lloydminster Minor Hockey is going to change that perception.
The criteria we're putting down isn't based on you scored the most points in a game. That's not the criteria we're looking at. We're looking at kind of the all-around athlete, the all-around player, hardest working kid, the kid, you know, it's going to be exciting for them.
The award will be handed out for the first time during the week of December 19th to the 25th.